चैप्टर रह गया था। तो वेलकम बैक टू द चैनल। अगर कोई भी नया हमारे साथ ज्वाइन कर रहा है तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, और जो रिकॉर्डेड सुन रही है उसके लिए भी बड़ी अच्छी बात है। द पावर ऑफ सबकॉन्शियस माइंड एक बहुत ही अच्छी बुक है जो कि आपके सबकॉन्शियस माइंड को एक्टिवेट करेगा। ऑलरेडी एक्टिवेट है, वो काम कर रहा है, बट उसकी पावर्स को अनलॉक करेगा अगर आप समझ पाए तो। ठीक है, स्टार्ट करते हैं। विथड्रू ऑल थॉट फ्रॉम contemplation of symptoms and from the corporeal personality altogether. I affirmed as follows: this prayer is for my sister Catherine. She is relaxed and at peace, poised, balanced, serene, and calm. The healing intelligence of her subconscious mind, which created her body, is now transforming every cell, nerve, tissue, muscle, and bone of her being according to the perfect pattern of all organs lodged in her subconscious mind. Silently, quietly, all distorted thought patterns in her subconscious mind are removed and dissolved, and the vitality, wholeness, and beauty of life principle are made manifest in every atom of her being. She is now open and receptive to the healing currents which are flowing through her like a river, restoring her to perfect health, harmony, and peace. All distortions and ugly images are now washed away by the infinite ocean of love and peace flowing through her, and it is so. I affirm the above several times a day, and that at the end of the 2 weeks, my sister had an examination which showed to a remarkable healing, and the X ray proved negative. हेलो जिमी, हेलो मुगली गेमिंग, हेलो आनंद अग्रवाल, कैसे हो मेरे भाई? वेलकम बैक टू द चैनल गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू द चैनल। 3 लोग आ चुके हैं, शानदार। तो आजकल हम लोग पढ़ रहे हैं द पावर ऑफ सबकॉन्शियस माइंड। ठीक है, आई अफर्म द अबव सेवरल टाइम्स अ डे, एंड at the end of 2 weeks my sister had an examination which showed a remarkable healing, and the X-ray proved negative. To affirm is to state that it is so, and as to maintain this attitude of mind is true, regardless of all evidence to the contrary, you will receive an answer to your prayers. Your thought can only affirm, for even if you deny something, you are actually affirming the presence of what you deny. तो देखो सिंपल सी बात क्या कह रहा है कि आप लोगों को ना चीज़ें मांगना है, चाहे उसके बीच में कितनी भी परेशानी आई, बट आप उसे मांगो तो वो सारी चीज़ें आपके लिए बहुत अच्छी होंगी, और वो सारी चीज़ें पॉसिबल होंगी। जब आप आस करोगे तो वो चीज़ रिसीव ज़रूर होगी, और वो आपका सबकॉन्शियस माइंड हर एक कोशिश करेगा उसको पाने की। राहुल जमरा, हाउ आर यू? वेलकम बैक टू द चैनल। एक बार मैसेज कर दो प्रीतिशा प्रियदर्शनी दास को भी, फिर साथ मिलके बैठेंगे। आनंद अग्रवाल आ चुके हैं, मोगली गेमिंग, जिमी हाय 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 लिखते हुए सारे के सारे, क्या बात है। Repeating an affirmation, knowing what you are saying and why you are saying it, leads the mind to that state of consciousness where it accepts that which you state as true. Keep on affirming the truth of life until you get subconscious reaction which satisfy. The argumentative method. This method is just what the word implies. It stems from the procedure of Dr. Phineas Parkhurst Quimby of Maine. Dr. Quimby, a pioneer in mental and spiritual healing, lived and practiced in Belfast, Maine about 100 years ago. A book called The Quimby Manuscripts, published in 1921 by Thomas Y. Crowell Company, New York City, and edited by Horatio Dresser, is available in your library. This book gives newspaper account of this man's remarkable result in the prayer treatment of the sick. अब ये कह रहे हैं, this book gives newspaper accounts of this man's remarkable result in the prayer treatment of the sick. Quimby duplicated many of the healing miracles. जो क्विम्बली था उसने डुप्लीकेट किए बहुत सारे हीलिंग मिरेकल्स को, रिकॉर्डेड इन द बाइबल, और सबको रिकॉर्ड किया बाइबल में। In brief, the argumentative method employed according to Quimby consists of spiritual reasoning. where you convince the patient and yourself that his sickness is due to his false belief, groundless fears, and negative patterns lodged in the subconscious mind. You reason it out clearly in your mind and conceive your patient that the disease or alignment is due to a distorted, twisted pattern of thought which has taken from his body. This wrong belief in some external power and external causes has now externalized itself as the sickness and can be changed by changing the thought patterns. You explain to the sick person that the basis of all healing is the change of belief. You also put out that the subconscious mind created the body and all its organs, therefore, it knows to heal it, can heal it, and is doing so now as you speak. You argue in the courtroom of your mind that the disease is the shadow of the mind based and disease soaked morbid throughout imaginary. जो प्रॉब्लम होती है वो हमारे दिमाग के अंदर ही है, ठीक है, हमारे दिमाग के अंदर ही सारी प्रॉब्लम है और हमारे दिमाग के अंदर ही बहुत सारा सोल्यूशन है. द रॉन्ग बिलीव इन सम एक्सटर्नल पावर एंड एक्सटर्नल कॉजेज हैज़ नाउ एक्सटर्नलाइज इट सेल्फ एज सिकनेस. अब आप देखते हो ना, जब कोई लोग बुरा सोचते हैं कि यार मेरे साथ ये हो जाएगा वो हो जाएगा, तो उनके साथ जो एक्सटर्नल वो होता है ना इफ़ेक्ट, वो दिखने भी लग जाता है. जैसे आपकी तबीयत ख़राब हो जाएगी. बाय चेंजिंग द थॉट पैटर्न यू कैन एक्सप्लेन टू द सिक person that the basis of all healing is a change of belief. जितनी भी हीलिंग होती है वो सब चेंज ऑफ बिलीफ के ऊपर है. अगर आपने बिलीव कर लिया कि आपकी तबीयत ठीक हो जाएगी तो आपकी तबीयत ठीक हो जाएगी. आगे बढ़ते हैं. आगे यू ऑल्सो पॉइंट आउट दैट द सबकॉन्शियस माइंड क्रिएटेड द बॉडी. सबकॉन्शियस माइंड ने ही बॉडी को बनाया है एंड ऑल इट्स ऑर्गन, उसके हर एक ऑर्गन को बनाया है. देयरफॉर इट नोज हाउ टू हील इट. तो इसलिए उसे पता है कैसे हील करना है. कैन हील इट एंड इज डूइंग सो नाउ एज यू स्पीक. जब आप बोल रहे हो तब वो हील कर रहा है. यू आर्ग्यू इन द कोर्ट रूम ऑफ योर माइंड दैट द डिजीज इज शैडो ऑफ द माइंड. जो डिजीज़ है वो एक शैडो है दिमाग की, बेस्ड ऑन द डिजीज सोक्ड मॉर्बिड थॉट इमेजिनरी. ये सब चीज़ें इमेजिनरी है जो आपको लगता है ना कि बीमारी ये वो, ऐसा ऑथर कह रहा है. यू कंटिन्यू टू बिल्ड अप ऑल द एविडेंस यू कैन मस्टर ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ हीलिंग पावर विद इन विच क्रिएटेड ऑल द ऑर्गन्स इन द फर्स्ट प्लेस एंड विच हैज़ अ परफेक्ट पैटर्न ऑफ एवरी सेल, नर्व एंड टिश्यू विद इन इट. Then you render a verdict in the courthouse of mind in the favor of yourself or your patient. You liberate the sick one by faith and spiritual understanding. Your mental and spiritual evidence is overwhelming. There being but one mind, what you feel as true be resurrected in the experience of patient. This procedure is essential. The argumentative method used by Dr. Quimby of Maine from 1849 to 1869. अब ये बता रहे हैं कि देखो क्या हुआ. You continue to build up all the evidence you can muster on the behalf of healing power within, which created all the organs in the first place and which has a perfect pattern of every cell, nerve and tissue within it. जब आप इस पावर ऑफ हीलिंग को महसूस करोगे या फिर इसे सच मानोगे तब ये अपना असर करना दिखाएगी. देन यू रेंडर अ वर्डिक्ट इन द कोर्ट हाउस ऑफ योर माइंड इन फेवर ऑफ योर सेल्फ और योर पेशेंट. जब आप इससे अपने दिमाग में बोलोगे कि मेरे लिए भी अच्छा है और पेशेंट्स के लिए अच्छा है, यू लिबरेट द सिक वन. अब आपने क्या कर दिया, उसे आज़ाद कर दिया. बाय फेथ एंड स्पिरिचुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग, वो स्पिरिचुअल और फेथ की अंडरस्टैंडिंग से हट चुका है. Your mental and spiritual evidence is overwhelming. There are being but one mind, what you feel as true will be resurrected in the experience of the patient. This procedure is essentially the argumentative method used by Dr. Quimby and Maine from 1849 to 1869. अभी just पढ़ा मैंने. तो जो भी आया हेलो तो लिख दो. The absolute method is like modern sound wave therapy. Many people throughout the world practice this form of prayer treatment with wonderful result. अब क्या the absolute method is like modern sound wave therapy. ये बहुत ही फेमस तरीका है देखते हैं ऐसा क्या है इसके अंदर। Using the absolute method mentions the name of the patient, such as John Jones, then quietly and silently thinks of God and His qualities and attributes, such as God is all bliss, boundless love, infinite intelligence, all power, boundless wisdom, absolute harmony, incredible beauty, and perfection. As he quietly thinks along these lines, he is lifted up in consciousness into a new spiritual wave, length at which times he feels the infinite ocean of God. Love is now dissolving everything, unlike itself, in mind and body of John Jones, for whom he is praying. He feels all the power and love of God are now focused on John Jones, and whatever is bothering or vexing him is now completely neutralized. तो जब उसने ये सब किया तो उसकी जो टेंशन वेंशन थी सब दूर हो गई. The absolute method of prayer might be likened to the sound wave or sonic therapy recently shown me by the distinguished physician in Los Angeles. He has an ultrasound wave machine. उसके पास एक ultrasound wave machine थी which oscillates at tremendous speed, जो कि बहुत तेज़ चलती थी, and sends sound waves to any area the body to which it is directed. तो साउंड वेव फेंकते हुए जाती, जिस बॉडी को उसको टच करना था वो वैसे जाता था. These sound waves can be controlled, and he told me of achieving remarkable results in dissolving arthritic, calcareous deposit, as well as the healing and removal of the other disturbing conditions, to the degree that we rise in consciousness by contemplating qualities and attributes of God. Do we generate spiritual electronic waves of harmony, health, and peace? Many remarkable healings follow this technique of prayers. जितनी भी अच्छी चीज़ें हैं वो सारी इस रिमार्केबल हीलिंग को फॉलो करती है. अ क्रिपल वॉक. अब क्रिपल वॉक क्या है? डॉक्टर फिनियास पार्कहर्स्ट क्विम्बी, of whom we spoke previously in the chapter, used the absolute word method in the later years of his healing career. He was really the father of psychomatic medicine and the first psychoanalyst. He had the capacity to diagnose clairvoyantly the cause of the patient's trouble, pain, and aches. The following is condensed account of the healing of a cripple as recorded in Quimby manuscripts. Quimby was called on to visit a woman who was lame, aged, and bedridden. He stated that her alignment was not due to fact that she was imprisoned by a creed so small and contracted that she could not stand upright and move down. She was living in the tomb of fear and ignorance. Furthermore, she was taking the Bible literally, and it frightened her. In this tomb, Quimby said, was the presence of the power of God trying to burst the bands, break through the bonds, and rise from the dead. When she would ask others for an explanation of some passage of Bible, the answer would be a stone. Then she would hunger for the beard of life. Dr. Quimby diagnosed her case as a mind cloudy and stagnated due to excitation and fear caused by the inability to see clearly the meaning of the passage of the Bible which she had been reading. This showed itself in the body by her heavy and sluggish feeling, which would terminate as the paralysis. At this point, एक बार फिर से पढ़ के समझा देता हूँ, मुझे भी ढंग से समझ नहीं आया. When she would ask others to explain of some passage of the Bible, जब उसने पूछा कि आप में से कोई है जो समझा सकता है हमें बाइबल के और पन्ने, the answer would be a stone. सब लोग शांत हो गए. Then she would hunger for the breath of life. Dr. Quimby to execution and fear caused by the inability to see clearly the meaning to the passage of the Bible which she had been reading. This showed itself in the body by her heavy and sluggish feeling, which would terminate as paralysis. At this point, Quimby asked her what was meant in the Bible verses. Yet a little while am I with you, and then I go unto him that sent me. Ye shall seek me and shall not find me, and where I am, the thither ye cannot come. She replied that it means Jesus went to heaven. Quimby explained what it is really meant by telling her that being with her a little while meant his explanation of her symptoms, feelings, and their causes. He had compassion and sympathy for her momentarily, but he could not remain in that mental state. The next step was to go to him that sent us, which community pointed out was the creative power of God in all of us in his mind and contemplated vitality, intelligence functioning in the sick. Women therefore are in narrow. Hello Alvindas, hello, how are you? Welcome back to the channel. ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं एक बार. Therefore, where I go cannot come for you, woman. Come for you are in your narrow, restrictive belief. ठीक है, वो कह रहे हैं कि जहाँ तुम जा रहे हो वहाँ मैं नहीं आ सकता क्योंकि आपका जो है वो है restricted belief, narrow है, बहुत छोटा है. And I am in hell. This prayer and explanation produce instantaneous sensation and a change come over her mind. She walked with her crutches. Quimby said it was one of the most singular of all his healings. She was, as it were, dead the error, and to bring her to life or truth was to raise her from the dead. Quimby quoted the resurrection of Christ and applied into the own Christ or health. This produced a powerful effect on her. He also explained to her that the truth which she accepted was an angel idea which rolled away the stone of fear, ignorance, and superstitions, therefore releasing the healing power of God, which made her whole. द डिक्री मेथड. अब क्या है डिक्री मेथड, क्या है? बहुत जगह हमने डिक्री पढ़ा. एंड व्हाट इज. हेलो अलविंदास, हाउ आर यू? वेलकम बैक टू द चैनल. कैसा लग रहा है यहाँ के? Power goes into your word according to the feeling and faith behind it. When we realize the power that moves the world is moving on our behalf and is backing up our word, our confidence and assurance grow. Do you not try to add the power? Therefore, there must be no mental striving. ठीक है, mental striving, coercion, force, mental wrestling. A young girl used to decree method on a young man who was constantly phoning her, pressing her for dates, and meeting her at her old place of business. She found it very difficult to get rid of him. She decreed as follows, I release unto God. He is in his true place at times. I am free and he is free. वगैरह मैं भी free, वो भी free. I know decree that my words go forth into infinite mind and it brings it to the pass. It is so. She said he vanished and she has never seen him since. It was as though the ground swallowed him up. Thou shalt decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee, and the light shall shine upon the sky. Serve yourself with the scientific truth. Be a mental engineer and use try to proven techniques in building a grander and greater life. Your desire is your prayer. Picture and fulfillment of your desire now and feel its reality, and you will experience the joy of answered prayer. ठीक है, किसी चीज़ को पाने की डिज़ायर रखो, चाहे वो पूजा हो, खाना हो, पीना हो, किसी भी चीज़ के बारे में सोचो. Desire to accomplish things the easy way with the sure aid of medical science. You can build radiant health, success, and happiness by the thought you think in the given studio of your mind. Fifth, experiment scientifically until you personally prove that there is always a direct response from the infinite intelligence of your subconscious mind to your conscious thinking. ठीक है? Feel the joy of restfulness in foreseeing the certain accomplishment of your desire. Any mental picture which you have in your mind is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. A mental picture is worth 1,000 words. Your subconscious mind will bring to pass any picture held in the mind begging by faith. Avoid all efforts of mental coercion in prayer. Get into a sleepy dozy and lull yourself to leap, feeling and knowing that your prayer is answered. Remember that thankful heart is always close to the riches and of the universe. अब जितने लोग थैंक यू बोलते हैं ना हर बात पे या फिर किसी अच्छी चीज़ पे, तो उससे क्या होता है? रिचेस ऑफ द यूनिवर्स, उनका दिल बड़ा अच्छा होता है. टू अफर्म इज टू स्टेट दैट इट इज़ सो, एंड एज यू मेंटेन this attitude of mind as true regardless of evidence to pray contrary, you will receive an answer to your prayers. Generate electronic waves, harmony, health and peace by making of the love and the glory of God. What does decree what you decree and feel as true will come to pass. Decree harmony, healing, peace and abundance. Bro, why don't you read Wings of Fire? Okay, I will study the Wings of Fire next time for sure. ठीक है, आज मुझे बहुत ही भयंकर नींद आ रही है, तो चैप्टर 7 और 8 हम लोग कल पढ़ेंगे और धीरे धीरे इस बुक को ख़त्म करेंगे. तो बाय बाय, टेक केयर, हैव अ नाइस डे. आई होप आपको ये डे 5 की लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग से कुछ सीखने को मिला हो.